My name's James Vaughan and I study audio music technology. I'm going into my final year. I was identified as having dyslexia in year 8 at school. Dyslexia affects me in my studies because I struggle with reading, I struggle with writing because I miss words out. Research, I don't know where to go and look. I really did need help with referencing, but I did get taught in first year in depth how to reference properly, so I did get good grades in my coursework. But when it comes to exams, I just really didn't do well.
Hi, my name is Sophie Moir. I'm studying mental health nursing at UWE Bristol. Well, firstly, I was only really going to go there because I wasn't sure if I might have had dyslexia, but it turns out it was visual stress, which is when you're staring at like a white piece of paper, like can make the words jump and like go blurry. And because my friends had always said like, oh, you must have ADHD, and I'm quite sort of chaotic and forgetful and yeah, all of those things, we ended up testing for that as well as like dyslexia, so it kind of came about that I had ADHD.
Biggest challenges on a day-to-day basis with dyslexia is reading, because I stutter when I read. I can't flow through a book. I stop at places because like words jump out at me. Writing on a computer is easier. I do double words, sometimes I miss words out, but that's always been the case since I was a kid. I just lose my attention span during exams. My mind wanders. I normally finish my exams at the point, so I can't really read and write through my answers.
In terms of affecting my studies, I find it really hard to like concentrate and keep my attention and paying attention, and obviously like forgetfulness and procrastination. I know obviously everyone can be like big procrastinators, but for me like it's a really big issue, and often leaving things to the last minute and not being able to give my full 100% into my work because I've left it so late and not been organised, and obviously organisation is another big thing.
My name's Sue Bond and I am a dyslexia and specific learning difficulties advisor. So the term specific learning difficulties, or SpLDs, this is an umbrella term. Basically, underneath that umbrella term, you've got dyslexia, which a lot of people know about. You've also got something called Dyspraxia. You've got ADHD, again, which a lot of people are aware of. Dyscalculia, which is a maths problem. And so there are a range of issues underneath that term specific learning difficulties. With regards to university, we're looking at those particularly with regards to students' educational strengths and weaknesses.
My name is Kelly Goodfellow. I'm a specialist SpLD advisor and assessor here at UWE Bristol. If you think there's any difficulty with your learning, get in touch with the UWE Dyslexia SpLD service and we can book a screening appointment where you can talk to a specialist advisor in a one-to-one setting. It's very informal, it's a free service, and you can explore what it is that possibly is holding you back from learning or what concerns that you've got. And if from that, if we can identify that there's possibly some sort of specific learning difficulty involved, we can organise getting you a diagnostic assessment and getting the right support in place for you.
I was really nervous beforehand because I'm not like really keen on sort of meeting new people and stuff and talking to new people because I'm quite awkward, so that was a bit nervous, but it was a positive experience because like a lot of things started to make sense, which before I kind of was just like, oh, you know, putting myself down for being really forgetful or certain symptoms that I put myself down for, and it was quite nice to know that actually there's a reason for it, and it's like just because my brain's a little bit different to other people's rather than just me being just me.
When I was diagnosed with dyslexia, the person who diagnosed me told me all the support they would be giving me. With me going into third year, I feel quite comfortable with the support I'm being given. My study skills tutors asked me to look at my dissertation already. I have done. Yeah, I'm looking forward to my third year. I feel quite comfortable. I'm just looking to get back and ready and working.
You may be eligible to get one-to-one study support with a specialist tutor here at UWE Bristol, and they're trained and qualified to help you with strategies that will help with specific learning difficulties that you may need to learn in a different way to other students, or you may need to explore perhaps if you've been given a diagnosis of a specific learning difficulty like dyslexia. We can help you to explore that profile, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and how you can learn best and what strategy you can have to access your course, access your lectures, help you with exams, help you with your assignments, and that can happen all through the 3 years.
We all have different strengths, we all have different ways of learning, we all have different ways of engaging, and it's just recognising that and going with it and playing to your strengths. And never being afraid to ask for help. Because if you bluff and if you don't ask for help, then two things are likely to happen. One is you're not going to perform, and secondly, you're going to get pretty miserable and frustrated quite quickly. So asking for some support and help when you need it is hugely valuable. So I'd encourage anybody who believes that they may be learning in a different way, in a different style, to seek support, seek advice, and then see what happens after that.